Hi, and welcome to Book Chat, a quick little video where staff from the Skokie Public Library talk about what they hope to read, what they have been reading, and books that they love. I'm Allison. I'm an advisory librarian here at Skokie Public Library. And joining me today are Kassy from the Bookmobile and Becca, as always. We're so excited to be doing this again. The book I'm highlighting today is one that a coworker brought to my attention. I just love the cover so much because it has gold foil leaves, which is a little random tidbit about me. I love a cover with gold foil. But anyways, I loved it. I checked it out on the spot without really knowing anything about it. It's called Everything is Beautiful and I'm Not Afraid, a Baopu collection by Xiao. Xiao describes the monthly serialized comic, which appears in the digital publication Autostraddle, as exploring the poetics of searching for identities, connections, and friendships through the fictional life of a young queer immigrant, Baopu. This book is a collection of the monthly comics, but it also includes some that haven't been published before. It has a very memoir-like feel to it. In fact, I didn't know it wasn't a memoir until I read more about it. But it is inspired by the illustrator's own experiences as a queer China-born illustrator living in New York City. It's a slim collection, and I originally thought I was going to get through it pretty quickly, but I found myself sitting and reflecting on it a lot more than I had thought I would. It's so great. Baopu stands for holding simplicity, which is a Taoist ideal of wishing to return to a simpler state. And the illustrations in this book really reflect that. They are intentionally childlike, and I found them so charming. It's also a good foil for some of the heavier themes that they talk about in the book, but it also heightens the feel-good parts of this memoir-ish essays in graphic novel form. It was great. That's it for me. I'm going to hand it over to Kassy.
Hi everyone, my name is Kassy and I am a Bookmobile assistant. The book I chose was The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. She's best known for her children and young adult novels. I love the way she writes, the stories and characters she creates. The Cruel Prince, book one of the Folk of the Air series, is the story of Jude and her twin sister Taryn and their older sister Vivi, how their lives were turned upside down after their parents were murdered and were taken to live in the High Court of Fairy. Jude and Terry are both human, living around the beautiful but cruel and deceitful but always honest Fae. They all look a bit different, but they tend to have pointed ears and animal-like features like cat eyes or horns and various skin colors. They also possess magical abilities as well as longevity. They can never lie, but they do twist their words and try to lie or avoid telling you the truth. They also love to be cruel to humans. They don't think much of them, so Jude and Taryn's lives has always been hard, having to live around them. Even their adopted father, Maddox, they're only really comfortable with their sister Vivi, who is fully Fae. But even then, they see things differently. The Cruel Prince has the right amount of drama, action, surprises, nastiness, and the tiniest hints of romantic possibilities. I highly recommend this young adult fantasy to anyone. I could not put this book down, and it was torture having to wait for the second and third book to come out. So I hope you guys like it. Next, we're going to talk to Becca.
Thank you, Kassy. I loved that book, The Cruel Prince. I am not a huge epic fantasy person, but it is so good and it is so engaging that it's really, just like you said, it's impossible to put down, even though it's a good hefty tome. And Kassy has convinced me, I think, that I need to go back and revisit it and finish up that series. So thank you for that. I'm Becca. I'm the supervisor of advisory services here at Skokie Public Library. And today I'm going to talk to you about Eat a Peach by David Chang. I've been thinking about this book a lot lately because I listened to the audio of it last fall as I planted a lot of bulbs. So crocuses and tulips and all of those other things. And they're starting to come up. And I just keep having this memory of listening to this amazing book while I was doing that work. So it's been kind of a lovely memory of that. David Chang is a chef. He is best known for his restaurant, Momofuku. And you can find him everywhere. He has endless, seemingly, Netflix specials and programming, all of which I've watched and recommend highly. This is not even his first book, but I think the thing that is different about Eat a Peach is that it's part memoir, but it's also like, it talks a lot about his mental health journey, and it's also kind of a leadership book. It talks about like the mistakes that he made in starting a business and the way that he ran his business and the way that he worked with his employees and like all of the things that he learned from that. And I am partial to, I don't know if I've talked about it on Book Chat, but I'm partial to memoirs that are read by the author. And this is one of those books. So I listened to it on audio, as I said. He reads it. And I just was really engaged. I thought it was really interesting. It was like every time I was like, oh, I know what this book is, like it would change a little bit and he would talk about something from a different light. He talks a lot about the way that women are treated in the restaurant industry, which I really appreciated that conversation as well. And I just think if you are into food, if you are, you fancy yourself a leader or you would like to be a leader, if you have your own mental health journey that you're kind of on and you'd like to know about somebody else's, it fills all of those check boxes. So I really loved it. I think that you would enjoy it too. It's not so heavy that like during this particular time, it's going to feel like a lot, but there's also a lot of substance there. So that is Eat a Peach by David Chang. Thank you all for joining us today. Special thanks to Kassy. We really appreciated having you with us today. You can find links to the books that we've discussed below. If you need help accessing those titles or any of the thousands of books that we have available, feel free to contact the library by whatever means you would normally, the phone, chat, send us an email. You can send that email to matchmanagers@skokielibrary.info. And we just hope that you're taking care of yourselves. We cannot wait to be talking books with you in person, hopefully in the near future. And until then, happy reading, and we'll talk soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.